You don't need to push yourself to start listening. You're already here. That's enough. If your energy feels low lately, not just physically, but emotionally, you might be carrying a quiet worry, a sense that something about you has changed. You might look at yourself and think, I should be doing more. I don't have the drive I used to. Why does everything feel so hard now? And maybe, without saying it out loud, you've wondered if what you're experiencing is laziness. That word can land heavily. It often comes with shame, with comparison, with the feeling that you're falling behind some invisible standard. Let's slow that thought down, because emotional exhaustion and laziness look similar on the surface, but they come from very different places. When you're emotionally exhausted, your system isn't refusing to try, it's depleted. It's been responding to pressure for a long time, to responsibility, to expectation, to constant mental load. Eventually, something has to give, and what gives isn't your values or your intentions. It's your capacity. You might notice it as a lack of motivation, difficulty starting, a heaviness that makes simple tasks feel complicated, not because you don't care, but because your emotional reserves are low. Laziness implies choice without consequence. Exhaustion removes choice altogether. When your nervous system is worn down, it prioritizes conservation. It slows you. It pulls energy inward. That can look like avoidance, like procrastination, like staying still longer than you planned. But underneath that stillness is effort, just not the visible kind. There's effort in holding yourself together, in showing up when you can, in managing the internal noise that doesn't stop when you rest. And yet, from the outside, and often from the inside, it gets misread. You might tell yourself you're unmotivated, undisciplined, behind. But here's the reframe that matters. Your system isn't broken, it's overworked. Emotional exhaustion often comes from caring for too long without adequate recovery, from being responsible, from adapting, from staying functional when things were heavy. The slowing down that follows isn't a flaw, it's a signal that something inside you needs relief before it can offer more. Shame tends to enter when we mislabel that signal, when we tell ourselves, if I were stronger, I'd push through. If I were better, I'd do more. But pushing through exhaustion doesn't build strength, it deepens depletion. And your body knows that, so it resists, not to sabotage you, but to protect what's left. This is where relief can begin. Because once you stop calling exhaustion laziness, the story changes. You stop fighting yourself. You stop demanding energy you don't currently have. And in that pause, something shifts. You begin to feel a little more human again, a little less defective. That self-understanding doesn't make you passive. It makes you accurate. And accuracy creates trust. When you trust that your system is responding intelligently, even in its slowness, the pressure eases. And when pressure eases, capacity starts to return. Not suddenly, not dramatically, quietly. You might notice brief moments of interest, small sparks of clarity, a willingness to engage that wasn't there before, not because you forced it, because you stopped attacking yourself. That's gentle motivation. It doesn't come from guilt. It comes from safety. from knowing you're allowed to be tired without being judged, especially by yourself. You don't need to label yourself at all right now. You're not lazy. You're not failing. You're exhausted in a world that rarely pauses, and recognizing that isn't an excuse. It's a turning point. Because when you meet yourself with understanding instead of blame, you restore agency. You get to choose your pace again, your boundaries, your definition of enough. That choice might be subtle. It might feel small, but it's real, and it's yours. Nothing needs to be fixed tonight. Nothing needs to be proven. You can let your system rest without justifying it. You're not falling behind. You're recovering. And recovery is not the opposite of progress. It's what makes progress possible again. You can stay here as long as you need. There's no urgency waiting for you when this ends. Just space. And that's enough for now.